Okay. Now
That was the contest.
yeah. Um, okay. Actually, those are my notes. You see, I think the single thing that probably struck people most about my presentation, despite glitches, like I'll say, is the fact that I actually was presenting it in in this environment where uh, going and evaluating something in fourth is just a matter of hitting the F6 key instead of enter. Um, and one of the things I'll notice on Bill's family tree, I noticed that there at the bottom of the screen is the route that gets through retro to Riva, which I chose to write forth in or CoSy in because it was active development at the time. Anyway, I think I might as well scroll
Uh,
back up here.
Table tells investors about you and your company. Do you mean us to see that?
Pardon?
I have
Are
this
you not
thing up.
seeing my screen?
No, I see your screen, but it says what your cap table tells investors about you and your company. Half the screen.
As soon as I scroll up here, whoa, went too far. To my yeah, here was my demo, and the first thing I did was put down a timestamp and also show. But let me go and um,
Am I the only one seeing what your cap
here
table
the first thing. Whoops.
about you and your company?
Um, there we go. I wanted to, yeah, there. That's this is the thing is F8 goes and puts up it opens the URL. So these are my slides to begin things, and essentially it's the combination of Ken Iverson's notation as a tool of thought evolved into APL and K. And so this is the first 50 years. I learned APL and because I needed to learn, understand multidimensional math to understand what was pattern recognition at the time. And now is to express AI very, as succinctly as it can be expressed essentially to express mathematics um, succinctly, and that's mathematics involves multiple quantity. And then Chuck Moore, of course, the other end of the spectrum, um, um, attaching it to directly to the hardware and in a way that the conversation today, goes and indicates the uniqueness of fourth and actually talking about the, going and building a dictionary from the ground up in whatever chip language. And actually then I moved to K, and actually this was my vision for that was written in K for when the hole in our neighborhood, I lived here. And this was very interesting guy, and I think that everybody who's doing anything in Python should get up and running in CoSy, because CoSy's far more powerful, far more succinct, and it's open forth. And so and this was something at this KX conference. Peter Wang, who is the co-founder of Anaconda, describes to a Python audience his discovery of fourth. So anyway, I'll skip over this whole
Hey,
script.
Bob.
Yes.
One of the things you might mention right here is Dr. Ting did his. Remember, he was taking apart the COVID-19 gene and he first did it in Python, and then he wrote it in Forth, and he said it was 60 times faster in Forth.
Well, this is one of the things, and actually, I've got. I'll just go through. Oh, this is something I wanted to emphasize, that at the Lambda Conference, it's all the whole menagerie of languages, Haskell and C, Camel, or and Elm, and actually some things I had a whole hackathon day on WebAssembly, which I heard apparently is excessively complicated. And I skipped it. When I learned APL, I didn't have time for anything else until I learned the Forth, which was the obvious thing to go and get from the machine up to creating a language. And this is one of the things that I really proved in my presentation, that I'm a poor programmer, bad at spelling, bad at arithmetic, error prone, and I need a backspace key to make forward progress. And I was giving I was using this, and actually I made incidentally, to show, these are actually all my CoSy processes, a bunch of different accounting, and this window itself, and so forth. But that shows you the extent to which I live in CoSy. But one of the, I remember I made, was it, here we go. Just wanted to show you now, I actually presented, this is my desktop computer now. That's what I actually used to give the demo in, with this as my keyboard. And somehow I got hung up on hitting F8, which goes and opens up a URL, instead of F6, which executes a line. Like, for instance, this was the first F6, okay? 1, 2, minus, okay, the answer is -1, okay? And that execution is actually on the x86 stack, and the underline I turns that into a one-item CoSy list. I think I've gone through, and this was, and one of the real conveniences of RPN, by the way, and something I liked about Riva, is it's got a vertical bar as a comment symbol. But you can stick comment symbols in anywhere, but that goes and shows that I went through this. This has gone through lots of different places, and everybody knows how to use, download CoSy. Oh, and all the open code. I actually find GitHub is too complicated, certainly for the audience that I'm aiming at, which is normal human beings. So I just have a directory that's got all the code in it, and all so you can go there and had success here. King successfully downloaded and run CoSy, met him at the conference. And let's see, fourth camera. These were notes that I made. I think that there's one other. Oh, yeah, my slides you've already seen. I'm just trying to see. But one of the things is, I think my talk was unique in being just executed directly. I mean, all the lines directly. I mean, here's the definition of the word that Dallas says soon, because I happened to do that years ago. But here's my hello world, and it shows that's the APL level thing. Oh, barcode. Oh, here's my most recent newsletter. And actually, this goes Neil deGrasse Tyson has these T-shirts he's got. So here actually is showing the conversion of intelligence, but this shows you to do translations. In CoSy, just make a list of what you want, you know, and this is trivial anyway. That's in my current newsletter. I think, one of the things that I should do, which here, yes. This was the announcement of for my talk. Look at that over. And something which to go and give here are all the speakers that were at this conference. And so, I mean, it was a significant conference with like 100 speakers. Aaron Shu is from Dialogue APL. And I think if you look at his talk, whenever it gets uploaded, you will see the problem with APL is the complexity of the syntax. It's just gone out of, I mean, there was comments about operating systems out of control complexity. Same thing with APL. And I happened to actually speak with Amanda Graham, who gave a talk on code as law. She's a lawyer who also is from Northwestern, actually, but she has a tremendous understanding of KX and so forth. What CoSy has evolved from on the APL side. One of the things actually I quickly comment on K, Arthur Whitney and K, definitions and names are associated separately. And I really think that, I mean, in Joy and concatenative languages, you talk about quotations, and fundamentally what you want is quotations, and then if it needs a name, you attach the name. But a couple of other people that gave interesting talks and actually have contacted and actually we're sort of working together, whereas, it's all the way down at Max. Oh, Josh Daniels was another from the APL world, and Josh David and Max Sun we're starting to work together and so forth. They've gotten into CoSy, and actually Young, I don't know how to pronounce K Young, is actually I think on in this call, but one of the things is they know more. They have a better understanding of the fundamentals of Forth than I do, but also the APL end of things. So yeah, the thing that really screwed up for some reason that I'll never understand. I mean, I screwed up things by being stuck on hitting F8 to go and open URLs when I wanted to hit F6 and execute lines. But yeah, somehow or other things got corrupted. So when I went to go and execute this to pull up my editing window, it simply failed. Anyway, let me close that again. And I'll just close by saying, well, one, right now, because getting launched, I just hit F6 instead of F8. But anyway, this is the current deal on getting CoSy, and the point is you sort of both, you get a piece of equity if you're a charter subscriber, because the whole thing is getting a functioning thing. one of the things that in talking to uh, uh, um, Amanda was that she immediately saw, first of all, she understands the level of KX. Oh, I should go and click KX. Whoops. KX, it just simply says it's the world's fastest database for vector time series and real-time analytics. And that's the APL end of CoSy. So there's no reason that particularly when you've got Don working on implementing FPGAs, which really impresses me is that it's clockless. That essentially you can have the logic so that it's just waiting for something to finish, and then it proceeds. But Amanda immediately, when giving her, we talked at the final dinner at the thing, she immediately compared CoSy with Evernote, which actually Evernote raised $290 million in venture capital, and it was valued at one point in time over $1 billion. And Amanda noticed, and I think that commented that fundamentally the goal of CoSy is to go and allow you to have this whole world that Evernote attempts to go and have all of your information in one big sphere around you as a business person for the everyday business of life. But the thing is, you've got this uniquely open language from the APL level in which you can do things like algorithmic programming and so forth. Really is what the sort of thing that pulled me down. Morgan Stanley was a particularly big user of APL, and as a matter of fact, the origins of K were at Morgan Stanley and then Union Bank of Switzerland, and so forth. And no matter what you'd like to do, I mean, all of these jobs here, or actually I can go and, these are all the processes that I've got going that are CoSy processes. And there's the mail lists and presentations and so forth, but accounts, Woodland Park property here accounts, it doesn't matter what you'd like to do, AI, or I'd like to go and do a finite element modeling of the planet. But bottom line, if you're going to run an organization, it's the accounting. That's the highest value. If you're great at number crunching, the numbers that are the most have the greatest return on crunching are ones that have currency symbols attached. So I'll leave it at that and hit a timestamp to end my talk. Comments, questions?
Okay, thank you. Don, you're on.
Okay, let's see. What screen? I have two screens up. Are you seeing the screen with Gmail on it?
I see about next stage.
Okay.
And it's like 3 or 4 other windows behind it.